Hello. Welcome to today's video. For those of you who just clicked on the video because of the title, just so you're aware, it sucked. For those of you that want the longer version about why I got my tooth pulled and where I've been and what's going on, stick around. But yeah, no intro today. We'll just get into it. Title of the video is going to be something along the lines of my experience getting my tooth pulled or whatever. I did want to take some time to talk about it just because I find it fascinating, especially for those that don't live in the States and maybe don't understand the healthcare and insurance stuff and, in my opinion, the problems that the USA has with healthcare. We'll just jump right into it. So basically, I always have dental problems, right? I try to take good care of my teeth. I'm not that great at taking good care of my teeth. I've had issues in the past. I got braces when I was a kid because they were all kinds of crooked and stuff. I mean, you can see I got kind of a gap. They're a little yellow. You know, it's not, they're not great, right? But I do still try to take good care of them. I actually got on the tooth that I ended up getting pulled. I did get a crown on it just this year. And unfortunately, so the dentist thought maybe just the crown would be enough, but it wasn't. The cavity was deep enough in the roots where it just spreaded, or it was spreading and becoming infected, and essentially the dentist said I need to have a root canal done. So I was going to get a root canal. I've had one before. They're not fun, but at least you get to save your tooth. But the way the insurance works here with dental specifically, you pay, bi-weekly out of your paycheck, you're paying into it. But with dental, you only get a certain amount that you can use each year on your teeth. If you cross over that amount, everything is out of pocket. Like, you have to pay everything out of pocket. Now, there are different amounts you can choose. Unfortunately, last year, before I knew I was going to have dental problems, I chose the lower amount, so I'm paying less into it, but then I get a lower dollar amount that I'm allowed to spend up to. I don't know if it would have made a huge difference, but it might have helped, at least. So I was going to get the root canal, but it ended up being because my coverage was basically all the way spent, that it was going to be on the cheaper side of things. It was going to be $1,000 minimum. It was looking like it would more likely be closer to $1,500 US dollars. And I just don't have that kind of money sitting around here. And then the alternative, I could get it pulled, which cost me $42. So it's kind of a twofold issue, I feel like. I don't like the way it's set up with paying into something and you get a limited amount. At least with medical health care, not that doesn't do dental, like you pay monthly or you pay bi-weekly, whatever, and you get like a percentage covered. But then once you hit your deductible, which is like usually like $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is, then they cover everything else after that. With dental, it's like the opposite. Once, like, they'll cover everything to a certain percent, but then when you use up all the coverage, then you're just on your own. You have to do it all on your own. And I mean, I guess we're poor. I don't know. Like, it's, I grew up poor, so I feel like we're doing okay financially, but we have a ton of bills. I just recently had to take my car in. That was $1,500. I didn't pay for it out of pocket because I didn't have it. But I started a payment plan. I'm very much in debt, and I don't, there's got to be an end point where you say, okay, I just can't take on any more debt. Like, I just can't, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to make my monthly payments if I did another thing for my tooth. So I was like, I guess, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to pull it. I don't like that I was forced to make that decision. It was my own decision. I don't know if I regret it. I mean, but the experience itself was kind of gnarly. So I got it pulled last Tuesday, and I was contemplating whether or not to make a video, but I didn't want to make a video and just me be, complaining. Because I don't mean to just bring the mood down. I do want to be happy with life, and I'd rather be like, I'd rather you guys watch these types of my videos to get enjoyment and to share in my happiness, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just be downer, woe is me all the time. But I was thinking about making one just mainly because I was kind of scared to get the procedure done. I've never had a tooth pulled other than my wisdom teeth, but with my wisdom teeth, I was completely unconscious all the way. So it was like, you go to sleep, you wake up, and 4 teeth are gone. You know what I mean? You'll never be the wisest, right? So this is my first time getting major dental work, like a removal of a tooth. They call it a tooth extraction. But it was the first time doing it, and with how they do it, especially with just one tooth, right? They do numb the area. They give you some sort of anesthesia shot, but like you're fully awake and fully aware. And I didn't eat breakfast beforehand, so I go in, I'm feeling fine. I'm still a little uneasy and kind of weighing my options. And then my dentist in particular, they make you sign a waiver form, basically saying you won't sue them if they screw up your face. Like, because they're like, you have to sign that your jaw might break. You might have complications all the way up leading to death. Like, they're like, we might pull this tooth and you die. And I had to sign saying that I understood the risks and I was taking them and I was just going to go for it. So that kind of freaked me out already. I was able to ask questions and discuss it with them before going with the pulling. But at this point, I had already paid to have it pulled. And so, I was just like, all right, here we go. So I did go ahead and get it pulled. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because if you've never had a tooth pulled, if they do it right with the medicine, it doesn't hurt. But the sound is terrifying. At least for me, it was. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure, and I got warned by some friends and stuff that you'd feel a lot of pressure on your face. But the part that just really drew me over the edge was you hear like a cracking or a breaking. It sounded like bones just breaking. I mean, essentially your tooth is being ripped out of your face, so it's not like a nice procedure, you know what I mean? But it just, for whatever reason, hearing the cracking and just like feeling the pressure and just the sound of it just being wrenched out of your face, it was terrifying. And I'm not gonna lie, I went in a little bit of shock. It could be partly because I hadn't had anything to eat all day. I mean, it was a morning appointment, but I hadn't had anything to eat. I was already kind of stressed about it, and I signed something saying, if you break my jaw or I die, I don't blame you. So it was just kind of traumatic. And so the hygienist and the dentist itself, they were like, hey, like, they started blowing cool air on me from one of their tools, and they're like poking me. And finally I was able to respond. I just started like blacking out, was getting really dizzy. It just was a rough experience. It freaked me out. And then trauma came and stewed after that, because I forgot when you have a tooth removed, because I hadn't had anything removed since I was a little kid, and so they tell you, you have to be on a soft food diet. Okay, that's fine. I actually, to mention that, I'm going back to the dentist tomorrow because it doesn't look right. I think maybe I got some food stuck in there. It doesn't hurt like really badly or anything, but it's worrisome enough where I'm like, I better get it looked at one more time. I mean, obviously there's no tooth there, but it just doesn't look like it should. They didn't give me a syringe or anything to like wash it out. They told me, to rinse with warm salt water, but I couldn't like swish it around. I'm not supposed to spit. There's a whole, like, I'm not supposed to spit. I'm not supposed to sneeze. I'm not supposed to cough. I'm not supposed to suck. I can't suck. That was a big one. So no straws, no vaping. And that's where it leads into why I disappeared. So I had this done on Tuesday. I took Tuesday off just because I figured, maybe I'll take a nap, during the day, and then I'll have time to make some videos, make some content for my YouTube channel. I was planning to do a Game of Thrones reaction video to a musical with it Coldplay is in. It's about Game of Thrones. I was planning to watch maybe some SB19 or some other artists from the Philippines. I was planning to make some RuneScape videos. I'm like, man, this is going to be great. I get my tooth pulled, take a nap, rest a little, and then just jump right into the video making. No, that is not what happened. I came to the realization how much of an addict I am, which is unfortunate, and it's my own doing. And that might be another video series we do in the future. But essentially, I couldn't vape. Wasn't supposed to vape till tomorrow morning. All right. I made it 24 hours, and that was rough. I get and those of you that have ever done nicotine before and gotten off of it, the withdrawal symptoms. So I get really bad brain fog. So Tuesday, I spent most of the day just laying down, staring at the wall. Like I was awake, but I just couldn't focus on anything because of the withdrawal from the nicotine. Like the tooth pulling bit, I mean, yeah, that stinks, getting your tooth pulled and all that. But the harder part for me was oh geez, sorry, that's kind of bright. The harder part for me was actually the withdrawal from the nicotine. So I am still conscious about my health and everything. Eventually, especially due to finances, I'd like to take some time to quit vaping. But what I'll do is take off like a week or two of work and just go for it, I thought about getting patches and using those since I couldn't vape, but it was $30 for the patches, and I'm like, I just need to just not vape till Saturday. I didn't make it, so hopefully I didn't cause any problems for the hole in my mouth. We will find out tomorrow. But I just want to make this little update just to kind of share with you my experience about getting a tooth pulled. If you have to get one pulled, and there's no other option for you than getting it pulled, just take my, information with you. I don't want you to have to freak out. It really is not the most traumatic experience in your life or something. It freaked me out, and it was pretty traumatic for me. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's partly why I wanted to share the video, because I didn't understand that you were going to be hearing the cracking and the breaking of the tooth, and I don't know why that sound just messed with my head. So also try to eat something before you go to the dentist if you're getting a tooth pulled, because soft food diet, I ate like applesauce and puddings and stuff like that for the first couple days, but I was pretty hungry. So yeah, that was my day. Oh, and then my car broke down that night. So it's just been kind of one of those weeks, and it's been kind of a blur. I'm excited to get back into the video making, but I just want to share with you what's up with me, where I've been, and all that jazz. So before we go here, we will have a proper outro. Just shout out to Fletchaholic. He is a top cat. He is a member. He subscribed to the membership program on YouTube. My first and only membership subscriber. So if you'd like to join those ranks, feel free. The first one is just $2, $1.99, I believe it is, and you get the emotes. And my thanks, of course. The second one, you get a Discord channel shout out at the end of the videos, and I think that's it. And the third one is just if you want to show off, right? It's $19.99, I believe it is, or $20. It's just if you want to show off. Do not feel obligated. This is an optional program, but it is there if you want to help support the channel. But with that being said, I will see you again with more videos here very soon. But I appreciate you guys bearing with me. And yeah, if you got to get a tooth pulled, I mean, good luck. I would maybe recommend the root canal. The only bad thing about root canals, it's not always a guarantee that that will fix it. You know, you could end up needing to get it pulled after a root canal. And that right there was kind of a big bummer too. I paid like approximately $400 out of pocket for the crown on the very tooth that I then went around and had pulled. And they wouldn't give me my tooth either. They're like, no, we have to dispose of it. I'm like, whatever. You know, it wasn't worth fighting over it. But I would have taken my tooth. I would have shown you. But you know, it's just kind of a bummer that how it ends up. I think my dentist is fine. I don't blame them for my bad teeth and or my lack of care for my teeth. But yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling now. So appreciate it. More videos to come. I will see you here very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.